Hey everybody, it's Emily here from Phoenix Gateway, and I'm here to do your general weekly read for the week, the 27th of July to the 2nd of August. And I'm working with my Sacred Geometry Healing cards. The link is below to where they can be purchased, as well as my upcoming workshop on a guide to the Sacred Geometry Healing cards, which is on Zoom and is a fun, interactive 3 hours. And you learn a little bit more about sacred geometry, as well as how you can work with the cards as a healing tool or as an oracle deck. So let's get stuck into the reading for this week. So 27th of July to the 2nd of August. What is it that we need to know for the 27th to the 2nd? Okay. Wow. It's really interesting. Before I started this video, because I've got the green screen, hence the picture below, behind me, sorry, not below, I wanted to put a picture up of a phoenix because I personally have I've really had a pretty hard month of July, and this last week I think has brought it all together for me. The rest of my foundations feel that they've just shattered, and which is really, really, really necessary. And I want to use the words. I feel like I've really gone through a dark night of the soul. More so this past week, where I have had to let go of so much, but at the same time it has brought up a lot of grief for me. And one of the things that I have really found this week is, or even today, just coming into the reading, is the feeling like the phoenix. My name is Phoenix Gateway. The phoenix is all about rising from the ashes, from death to rebirth, and it's always that cycle of life that we go through, and that every time that we go through this cycle of death and rebirth, we are actually coming back through on a very different level. And what has come through is the Phoenix card. So the first one to actually come through was the 852 frequency. This is one of the solfeggio frequencies, and the 852 is all about getting in touch with your intuition. And it is so rightfully so. It is about our connection to spirit, our connection to source. And so, what we have been going through right now for so many has really been quite hellish for many of us. For others, it's been a huge awakening, and for others, they've just prospered out of it. And so each one of us is going through something different. But it's so important and such a beautiful reminder of how important it is to maintain a connection to source, to spirit, because we start to lose direction, we start to lose faith, we start to lose hope. And sometimes we just need to reconnect, really truly reconnect in, because it's knowing that it's okay to go through this cycle of death and rebirth that we each do experience. And each one of us, is like the phoenix. We go through the death of an old cycle, of old belief systems, of things need to come to an end. It is imperative, because without the ending there are no new beginnings, and we need to be able to rise above what we're going through at present moment. We need, I talk a lot about for every crisis there is a gift. For those who know me, that's what I do speak of. And in this past week, and I know I'm bringing in my story, but it's easy to talk about myself because it's me giving the reading. But I lost my grandma this week, and it was the end of an era. And not only did I lose her, but what it did was it reactivated grief, and it may not have actually reactivated it. It was grief that was already sitting there, but it brought it to the surface for me, and it came out with so much force that it blew me, actually blew me away, because I didn't realize how much grief I was still holding on to, and the importance of being able to let it go, and to be able to deal with that aspect of grief. And really my whole life has started, my whole journey started so more mainly from grief, and it's been able to deal with it in different ways on different levels, because as the Phoenix suggests, is that it's time to take hold. There are inevitable changes that are occurring in our lives, and we are on this journey of life. We are on this ride, this roller coaster ride, but it is so imperative that we take on board everything that happens within our life. It's not about going through life with your blinkers on. It's about taking those blinkers off. It's about being able to connect on a 360 degree, so that we actually can see everything that is happening around us, because it is through this journey that we are able to pick up on aspects of our lives, that we can actually see the aspects that need to be changed. And for some of you, you're not going to change, because it's too hard. Change is friggin' hard, and not everyone can do it. And you know what? They're the ones that are going to find it a lot harder to keep going through on this journey that we're all on at the moment. But for those who are watching, are the ones that are more than likely going through these changes already, and will understand where I'm coming from. It's all right to go through grief. It's all right to go through and I'm going to use this, because I've felt it. I've been through aspects, is the aspects of depression and the lows. But it's also knowing that, and it's not for everyone, but we do go through these aspects of, these lows, being down, or we call it, a form of depression, but know that it's a reactive depression. And this is where I have been, and oh God, I honor it so much. And it's, as I was shuffling the cards going, you know what, we're coming into Leo season now. We are in Leo season, and this to me is all about taking hold. Again, we can look at it the Phoenix this way. This is all about coming from power. It's stepping into your power. It's all, it's about, okay, it's like we've gone through this introspection and this time, but now it's coming back into that awakening of, or that rebirth of, planting the seed, because we are actually going into rebirth. And I'm going to use this card because it's the bottom of the deck, but it is just such a beautiful card. And it spells out what I've been speaking of, because for every death, there is rebirth, there is transformation, there is reactivation, there is the reweaving of our cellular structure, there's the reweaving of our frequency, that we are actually connecting on that higher level and connecting into source, and knowing that, these changes that are occurring are inevitable. And it's all part of, birth, life, and death. This is what we go through. It is part of rebirth. And, leading on to that, it is expansion. Everything expands. It's inevitable change. And if we allow ourselves to go through the changes, if we allow ourselves to feel the hurts, the pain, but at the same time, as the bottom of the deck shows, is joy. Oops. Okay. So it's about balance. It's about, what's been coming up again a lot for me is one of the 7 Hermetic principles, which is the law of correspondence. This is as above, so below as above. And It's so true, because as we connect in to spirit, we're going above and we're going within. We also, as above, so below. We have to actually connect to the physical below, but on the outer. So we are going through these massive, massive changes right now, massive. But you know what? We are expanding, and it is going to work in our favor. We've got to, believe and have faith that what is happening is, there's a bigger picture out there, but that bigger picture also includes us. It's about releasing that fear. Don't allow those fears to take over you. You need to protect yourself, safeguard yourself from that energy, from those words, from that which is going on around you, and don't allow it to affect you to such a point where you freeze and you feel anxious and stressed. We have to know that this will become, especially with what is going on at the moment, some of the feelings that it's bringing up for us, it is reactive, because we're reacting to what is going on around us. We need to honor, we need to acknowledge what we're feeling, we need to heal what is coming to the surface, but it is knowing that we are really on this divine journey of inevitable change. It is time to take hold, because we are going. It's about finding that wisdom within, okay? The wisdom that is within us, the wisdom that surrounds us. Again, as above, so below. It's what we're taking from above and going within, but going below, and it's what's on the outer. Surrender to what you cannot take control of, because if we want to fight an uphill battle, it's just going to create more emotion, and emotion is energy and flow. It's a need to surrender to that. It is a need. What we need to do is allow and let it be. Heal what you can heal what what you can work on, and this looking, it's about, as we surrender, we're gaining that greater wisdom, those greater insights. Okay. And I could keep going through, but oh my God, I'm actually going to do this. So to go through these cards, because as the first card of the 852, it's about that connection into source, and how imperative it is to connect into spirit, as now, because as we start to do this, and to raise our own frequency and vibration as we're doing this, what's coming through are new beginnings. And you know what? You don't have to know what they are, because it may be something that truly surprises you on so many different levels. It may be the element of surprise. It may just be that as you've surrendered to that which you cannot control, something beautiful comes about, because you've let go of an old energy. You've let go of that old vibration, that outdated belief system, outdated ways in which you've done something, because as you do that, you allow the new to come in. And whether it is allowing the new of love to self coming in, or you're letting the new of love of a soulmate come into your life. And this is just beautiful, such beautiful confirmation, because what it shows us, as I said, is when we let go of that which we can no longer hold on to, when we surrender, when we change the way we look at things, well, the things that we look at change, and you're going to start letting the new beginnings in. So a beautiful reading this week. Take care of yourselves, and just be gentle and kind to you. And I look forward to speaking with you next week. Have a wonderful week. Thanks.